Hello, I'm Clive Gilson, also known as the Story Guy, and welcome to my channel on YouTube where we discover and retell folk tales, fairy tales from around the world. It's a way of preserving these tales and also sharing our respective cultures. Today's story is Beth Gelert. It's a Welsh tale, and let's get on with it. Picture North Wales, sometime around the year 1200. Prince Llewellyn has a castle at Aber, and parts of its towers still stand even now. His wife is Princess Joan, the daughter of King John, and her coffin is still here too. Llewellyn is a keen hunter. In those days, the hills of Carnarvonshire were troubled by wolves, especially when the lambs were young and hunting was as much protection as sport. Among all his dogs, the prince has one clear favourite, a greyhound called Gelert. King John himself gave the hound to Llewellyn, and at home Gelert is gentle, calm, and almost shy. But out on the hills, he is fearless, fast, and utterly focused. One morning, Llewellyn rides out for the hunt. He stands in front of the castle and blows his hunting horn, and the other dogs come running at once, tails up, ready to go. But Gelert does not appear. The prince blows again, louder this time, and calls him by name. Still nothing. Impatient now, Llewellyn decides he can't wait. He heads out without Gelert, and the day goes badly. The chase feels flat, the dogs are slower, the excitement never catches. And all the while, the prince can't stop thinking about the one hound who should have been there. When he finally returns back to the castle, he is angry, and he is stewing in it. Then, at the gate, Gelert comes bounding out to greet him. Relief flickers, and then vanishes, because Gelert's muzzle is wet with blood. His lips and teeth are stained red. The prince recoils. Gelert drops low to the ground at his feet, as if confused by the reaction or hurt by it. And in that moment, a thought hits Llewellyn, so hard it almost knocks the air out of him. His baby son, just a year old, the child Gelert always plays with. Llewellyn runs. The closer he gets to the nursery, the worse it looks. Blood, things knocked over, a mess that speaks of panic and violence. He bursts into the room and sees the cradle tipped on its side, smeared and splashed. He searches wildly, calling out, looking under cloths and behind furniture, barely thinking straight, but he cannot find the child, only more signs of a struggle. And in his fear, his mind locks onto the simplest answer. He turns back to Gelert. "Monster," he cries, "you've eaten my child." He draws his sword and drives it into the greyhound's side. Gelert gives a deep, torn cry and collapses, still looking up at his master. And then, as that dying yelp fades, a small sound rises to meet it. A baby's cry. Llewellyn spins back to the cradle, and there, tucked beneath it, is his son, unharmed, blinking, awake from sleep. And beside him lies the body of a great, gaunt wolf, torn to pieces and slick with blood. All at once, the truth is plain. Gelert hadn't abandoned the hunt. He had stayed behind to guard the child. A wolf had come into the nursery, and Gelert had fought it and killed it. The prince's grief is useless now. He gathers the greyhound close, frantic and broken, but there's nothing to be done. Gelert is dying. "Oh, Gelert," he says over and over, "my favourite hound, my faithful hound, killed by my own hand." And as if to forgive him, the greyhound licks his master's hand one last time, and then is still. The next day, they make a coffin, and they hold a funeral as solemn as any they would give a person. The servants mourn, the household falls quiet, and Gelert is laid in a grave of honour. And the place is remembered by his name, Beth Gelert, Gelert's grave. Even now, people will tell you that the marker can still be seen, a story rooted in one terrible mistake and in the loyalty of a dog who did exactly what he was meant to do. And so ends the story of Beth Gelert. Stories like this remind us that people have always found ways to tell stories that touch our hearts, educate us, and fill us full of wonder as much as sorrow. You can explore my full collections of folklore and fairy tales from the Arctic to the Caribbean, from the Philippines to Zanzibar. They're all available in print and in digital form. You can find them on Amazon. There's a link at the bottom of the screen. If you're curious about the storyteller behind the mic, then drop by clivegilson.com. I'm always glad to connect and have a chat. If today's tale has stirred something in you, do subscribe. Share your thoughts below and maybe pass the story along to friends. Whatever, thank you as ever for joining me by Tales from the World's Firesides. As I said earlier, I'm Clive Gilson, the story guy. Until next time, stay well and keep the stories burning brightly.